Hey everybody, it's Doug Green and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News, and I'm very pleased to have with us again Schuyler Voss and Dumitru Borsan of Sansay.
Yep.
Fellas, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Doug. I'm Schuyler Voss.
I'm Dumitru Borsan.
And we're here on a beautiful day here in San Diego, and we're going to be talking about Sansay, we're going to be talking about StirShaken. You're still a relatively new member of the CCA, so welcome to Cloud Communications Alliance. So what's the news on StirShaken? You know, we've talked about StirShaken for a long time. What do you have for us today?
Well, the last time that we had talked, we were at the beginning of our launch of StirShaken Express. Since then, we've been getting a flood of inquiries from providers about StirShaken, mostly because in the FCC's 8th order and report, there are a number of deadlines mandated, and there have been some changes to StirShaken that are going to be effective June 20th, so that would be in about 10 days from now, and looking forward into the future. There's just a lot regarding robocall mitigation that's coming, and we definitely want to address a lot of those different criteria today.
So let's break it down. First of all, who needs to understand in terms of compliance, and what do people need to know, and who needs to know it?
Yeah. The people that really need to know about compliance, and from what we've seen, it's been a lot of those providers that have been relying on intermediaries. So they've been using, a downstream carrier certificate to sign their call traffic. They haven't implemented a DNO list, and they don't have all of their call traffic signed. Those are the kind of key points and key indicators that people need to get compliant on as a checklist. And the downstream carriers that providers have been relying on for certificates and call signing, that's not going to be an effective solution anymore for full compliance. And you are risking fines and liability and potentially the lifeblood of your business if you are not compliant. So absolutely, you would want to be looking at call signing, making sure that you have your own certificate, whether or not it's a third party that's doing the call signing for you, and making sure that you have an effective DNO list in place.
I see. Now, for the Cloud Communications Alliance community, what do they need to know?
For the Cloud Communications Alliance, a lot of those members are going to want to make sure, one, that they're compliant, most of them will be, but two, also future facing. Robocall mitigation has been getting tightened up, especially on enforcement, and it's looking like branded calling is going to be the future of making sure that robocalls don't happen and that calls are coming from trusted sources. So looking into BCID and what the CTIA is doing, Sansay is an authorized partner, and we are a signing agent in the ecosystem. So if you're curious about any information pertaining branded calling, reach out to us.
So Dumitru, what are you hearing from the service providers?
What we hear for the last couple of weeks, the providers would like to, implement the StirShaken Express, easy, and make sure they don't spend too much time from the provisioning point of view and configuration. So we can help that with our StirShaken Express, which is a compact product which resolves both the StirShaken and the signing of the call.
So Dumitru, how Sansay's approach to this different from other companies?
We approach by deploying this StirShaken Express, which is different from other companies which are using a StirShaken standard. But that is working only for providers who can support StirShaken signaling and signing. There are customers, small vendors, which their infrastructure doesn't support the signing of the calls. So we are, introducing this StirShaken Express, which resolves both the signing of the calls plus the communication between the customer, PBXs, and the vendors.
Now, is the situation, this is a question to both of you really, is the situation changing in terms of compliance that people need to be aware of what those changes are and need to be taking action now?
Yeah, from the compliance point of view, they have to understand they need to do this, and they understand because as we talk about, we had a lot of customers in the last couple of weeks which require or which asking about the StirShaken Express.
What is the role of the StirShaken Express?
So the role of the StirShaken Express applies to the customer who cannot support or has a PBX or SBCs which doesn't support signaling to communicate with the steering shaking. So we are coming with the SIG proxy, which is inserting between the customer and the vendor. So the SIG proxy has the role of the taking over the signaling and signing the call. That is.
So Schuyler, could you give me a little bit more?
Yeah, so just to expand on what Stir, Shake, and Express does too, besides just from a technical standpoint, a lot of these people want simplicity and consolidation in their network. That's really the goal that we're trying to achieve with Stir, Shake, and Express. So you can have your certificate, your call signing, and DNO, which is going to cover all of your compliance need, consolidated into one interface. And we can also do a rapid deployment model, which is ideal, especially since the deadline is coming up so quickly.
So what happens, and this has been always the story with Stir Shaken. We have a series of deadlines and then we live after the deadline.
Of course.
So tell me about the world after the deadline.
Yeah. Well, June 20th is not going to be the end of the world, and especially not the end of Stir Shaken. Stir Shaken's been around for a number of years now, and at each point people thought that Stir Shaken was going to kind of stop evolving, but that's never been proven to be the case. Deadlines are going to evolve, compliance is going to evolve, and you always have to be watching very closely and monitoring the situation. And the nice thing about Express is that it's hosted by Sansay. We're always watching, what kind of regulations are coming out and making sure that our customers stay compliant. We've deployed Stir Shaken for hundreds of customers, and we've deployed Express for a number of customers since it started. Definitely something to pay attention to moving forward. And if you want to learn any more about compliance, or if you're concerned about your Stir Shaken solution or anything else, reach out to Sansay. You can find our website in the link to this podcast.
It sounds like it's a pretty good opportunity also to, if you're part in the partner MSP community, to take a look at this as well. If you're in touch with
Definitely,
people.
yeah. Because all of your competitors are going to be making sure that they're compliant, and especially with branded calling too, those are future opportunities that are at some point going to become a standard for the voice industry.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me to this very interesting Sansay.com. It sounds like that's where we should learn more.
Yep, you can
All
reach
right.
out to us there.
Well, I'm looking forward to the next podcast, but for now, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Doug.